Lisa. Mac Powell from Third Day, plus Holland, Ryan Stevenson, and Capital Kings, an awakening event from the Awakening Foundation.
A Dallas Baptist University concert series event. Verizon Theater in Grand Prairie, February 24th and 25th. Tickets at AXS.com.
If you're retired or retiring soon, don't miss the special free Money Matters Retirement Seminar. Choose 1 p.m. tomorrow, Hilton Rockwall, or 7 p.m. Tuesday, December 6th, Hilton Garden Inn, Fort Worth Medical District. Find out what you can do before year end to take advantage of gains when possible while helping protect your retirement from a stock market crash. 5 strategies to help save on income taxes, the best time to take Social Security in changing times, and much more. Please reserve now at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net or call 800-994-0302.
You can listen on the go. Find us on iHeartRadio, 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Reports. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. Every time there's a presidential election, the Harvard Kennedy School of Government hosts the movers and the shakers from opposing campaigns for a frank post-mortem of the presidential election. Harvard has been doing this since 1972. And usually the discussions are respectful and measured and professional and so on and so forth, but not necessarily the case this year. Trump's team praised Steve Bannon. And former Clinton communication director Jennifer Palmieri lashed out and started yelling. And Kellyanne Conway started making measured responses back. And there was an awful lot of yelling and so on and so forth that led to what was a dynamic, fast-moving argument with the typical racist charge being thrown from the left to anybody that didn't vote for Hillary Clinton. It was a food fight, and we happen to have a recording of it. So what do you say we sit back and enjoy what happens when leftist politicians lose their butt to a straightforward, plain-speaking amateur who has never run for any public office before, who hands them their heads? Listen carefully to the two different campaign staffs shouting it out at Harvard.
If providing a platform for white supremacists makes me a brilliant tactician, I am glad to have lost. And one of Hillary, give me a minute, David. I am more proud of Hillary Clinton's all right speech than any other moment on the campaign, because she had the courage to stand up. I would rather lose than win the way you guys did.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes. Yes.
That's very clear today. No, you wouldn't, respectfully. Rather, I'm sorry, how exactly did we win? No, go for it, Jen. How exactly did we win? I'd like to know, because I've sacrificed the last 4 months of my life to do it. Excuse me. And we did it. And we did it by looking at the schedule and looking at, yes, the electoral map of 270, because that's how you win the presidency. And we went places and we were either ignored or mocked roundly by most of the people in this room, but I have a smile on my face at all times. And we did it by focusing with Steve Bannon and Dave Bossie and everybody you see here. They're going to say, oh, she just said Corey was part of the campaign. Jeff Zucker. Okay, Corey until whatever, what was that, June? And we focus on how you win. We connected with voters. We connected with voters.
Hiring is himself. You know, we've already gone through some of the examples of his own language, his own positions that I believe are at odds with my value as an American of embracing diversity, inclusivity, equality, and hiring someone like Steve Bannon, who with Breitbart.
You guys just spend a few minutes on Breitbart.
Gives people a platform.
You say things doesn't make it true.
One of my proudest moments of her is her standing up and saying with courage and clarity, in Steve Bannon's own words and Donald Trump's own words, the platform that they gave to white supremacists, white nationalists, and it is a very important moment in our history as our country. And I think as his presidency goes forward, I'm going to be very glad to have been part of the campaign that tried
to. Jen, do you think that excuse me, she said white supremacists.
Well, I would actually like to follow
sorry. I know it's mentioned a lot on your website too. Do you think I ran a campaign where white supremacists had a platform? You going to look me in the face and tell me that?
I did. Kellyanne did.
Oh, and that's how you lost?
I did.
Do you think you could have just had a decent message for the white working class voters? Do you think this woman who has nothing in common with
saying that's why you won, but that's
these counties we flipped over 200 counties that President Obama won and Donald Trump just won. You think that's because of what you just said, or because people aren't ready for a woman president? Really? How about it's Hillary Clinton? She doesn't connect with people. How about they have nothing in common with her? How about you had no economic message?
Guys,
we are. You guys are not.
They want this to be about a strategist. That's right.
You guys are punching down. It's unbelievable.
You know who you're talking about one Steve Bannon. There's another Steve Bannon as the CEO of Breitbart. He himself has said that was a platform for the alt-right. Folks from the platform. Now, you have just 2 weeks ago, in the rise of the alt-right, which is now part of the mainstream of our politics, America is for white people. So don't tell me, and that is the kind of platform, there's a video of it. That is
no. Prove yourself what you just said, Karen. Prove yourself, okay? Prove yourself. The alt-right is the mainstream American politics.
No, I said now they've come to the mainstream. Part of what Donald Trump did in this campaign was to mainstream the alt-right.
I actually have a question about that specifically for the Clinton campaign,
by bringing Steve Bannon into
what needs to happen is just what happened. Suddenly, we, the people of the United States, suddenly found ourselves in a situation where, holy criminy, didn't vote for the people that kept slapping him in the head. How did that happen? My God. It's like these people got tired of being called racists or something. Look, if all of us stood together, if all of us in the United States of like mind and like demographic, if we all stood together, this would be over in 15 minutes. I'm not sure that that's what we want. There is something to be said for the merits of a diverse society. There are. Do I believe that a diverse society relies on multiculturalism and everybody can be whatever it is that they are? No. I believe that if you come to a country, you need to live. If you come to a country to live, you need to live like the people do in that country. You need to embrace what they do, not what you do. If you're happy with your religion and the way it interacts with your government and so on and so forth, stay home. Here in the United States, we have a separation between church and state. Not between God and state, but certainly between church and state. So when you leave your house to go to work in the morning, you need to leave your church at home. If there are people that are willing to show you respect your cultural background, that's a gift. That's a gift from this society. It's not something you take without realizing it's a gift. It is consideration. And you need to start acting like it. We, the people of the United States, are generous and warm and loving, and we care about everybody, pretty much. But stop crossing us. Stop taking advantage of our liberties and freedoms. Stop it. Or we'll throw you out. And that doesn't make me racist. That makes me American. If you want to live in the United States, live in the United States. Join us, by all means. Enrich our society with what you bring to it, what you contribute. But stop dominating it. The largest demographic groups in America do not exert their influence. And maybe that's happened too much. Maybe that's happened too much. But I tell you what, people need to stop sneering at me like I'm some sort of bigot, because I'm not. I'm an American. And it's our turn. This is the Wells Report.
The Mark Davis Show.
You'll hear me say sometimes there's so much going on in the news, I need more than one show a day. Well, Monday, got it. Join me on the Hugh Hewitt Show, Monday 5 till 8, and then 8 to 10, you and me hanging out in Texas. A weekend filled with news and developments that require our attention. Join me in a chat with the nation on the Hugh Hewitt Show, 5 to 8, and then 8 to 10 for DFW. Big Monday. Come be a part of it.
The Mark Davis Show, weekday mornings at 7, right before Mike Gallagher at 10 on 660 AM, The Answer.
This is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, and I'd like to invite you to join me for our talk show every Sunday morning. We're actually trying to convert the world to organics. We talk about the natural organic program for farming, ranching, gardening, and pest control. Also, a lot of talk about health issues for animals and people. Hope you can join us for all the fun.
Make sure to tune in to Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 to 11 a.m. right here on 660 AM, The Answer.
I'm Aaron Katz. You might remember me from my radio show or my company with Little Red Trucks. Have you ever wondered why some people suffer from irrational fears like fear of heights, public speaking, or needles? For example, needles used to make me sick until I fixed it. It's because most irrational fears are created from a traumatic experience. It's a form of PTSD that affects many people. The good news is that fears from PTSD can be controlled, and you don't need a lot of prescription drugs or years of therapy to do it. As a certified NLP practitioner, I've learned how to help people eliminate their fears and change their lives. I do it by setting positive and negative triggers and activating them simultaneously. The positive neutralizes the negative, and it doesn't affect you any longer. It's the same as combining red dye and blue dye. The red and the blue both disappear, and it leaves purple. If you or someone you know has an irrational fear that's limiting them in some way, I can help. Visit my website, littleredtrucks.net. That's plural, Little Red Trucks, and it's .net. Let's get to work.
Hey, everybody, it's Mark Davis for Good Feet, and the Christmas season is demanding extra walking, extra places to go. And are your feet hurting? That's not good. Let me get you out of pain today with a visit to America's arch support experts. The Good Feet stores. They're in Plano, Fort Worth, and Southlake. That's Plano, Fort Worth, and Southlake. Special note for Southlake, they're now open Sundays, noon to 5. No matter what location you visit for the Good Feet stores, Plano, Fort Worth, Southlake, 3 different locations, but the same goal, get you out of pain today. So many people's feet hurt at the end of the day. That ain't right. Some people's feet hurt at the beginning of the day. That's really not right. Get the right kind of arch support in there, and you'll be able to walk and work and live the way you wish. Hit that goodfeetdfw.com website to learn more. Goodfeetdfw.com. Click that Real Stories button and see stories of people out of pain and happy about it. Why not you? Good Feet stores, Plano, Fort Worth, and Southlake, now open noon to 5 on Sunday. Plano, Fort Worth, and Southlake, the locations of the Good Feet stores. GoodFeetDFW.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money in real estate right here in Dallas? If so, we have an amazing opportunity for you. We're looking for a small group of motivated individuals to join our team. You'll learn our complete 12-strategy system for flipping houses right here in the local area. This is Shanoa Grove, founder of the Dallas Real Estate Investors Association. My network and I are looking for a handful of people in the Dallas area who want to learn how to make money flipping houses in their spare time using other people's money. And next week, we're hosting a free 2-hour training workshop at our meeting.
Hi, I'm Phil Grove, inviting you to come join the largest real estate investor network in Texas. We meet on Thursday, December 8th at 6 p.m. at the Addison Marriott near the Galleria, and you can register to attend for free by calling 800-801-1713. This month's topic, how to buy and hold for lifetime wealth. Call 800-801-1713. Write it down. That's 800-801-1713. Call in the next 10 minutes to receive a free copy of our Texas Real Estate Training Program, brought to you by the Dallas Real Estate Investors Association.
For centuries, it's been called a land of promise. Today, it's a land of blessing. In 2017, come and experience for yourself the only place God called my land. Experience Israel next fall and celebrate Jerusalem's 50th anniversary. A once-in-a-lifetime trip awaits as you travel with Pastor Sean Thornton, host of All Things New Radio. Tour Israel like never before during 9 exciting days. You'll visit Galilee, the Jordan Valley, the Garden Tomb, and many other historic sites. Embolden your faith as you trace back the very steps of Jesus and experience firsthand the beauty of Mediterranean landscapes, culinary delights, and return home with a renewed vision for your life. A dedicated team of passionate and knowledgeable professionals will lead the tour. 4- and 5-star travel accommodations will give you comfort and safety for the duration of the trip. For full cost and trip details, visit experienceisraeltour.com. That's experienceisraeltour.com.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. The Wells Report is on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Telephone number 866-660-5759. So here we are, listening to the left wax frothily about the alt-right, these alternate rightists, crazy people. Okay, let's talk about a few alt-left people, shall we? The Democrat Party, I'm talking about real Democrat Party, where did they get a lot of their Where did they get a lot of their political power? From working people. People who worked on the auto assembly line. People who crafted American steel. People who unloaded ships. People who dug for coal. If an alternative right or an alternative left is a caricature of the mainstream right and the mainstream left, what do you call Hillary Clinton if not alt-left? She took a party built on the sweat of the working man and said, we're going to put those working men and their companies out of business. Is that not radical? Is that not radical extremism? The answer is yes. Of course it is. Well, the alt-right is bigoted. The alt-right is racist. The alt-right is racist. Okay. Well, what about the alt-left? They're racist too. Just against white people. They came up with all of these wonderful hate crime bills around the country, hate crimes legislation. But nobody who isn't white has ever been convicted of a hate crimes legislation, hate crimes law. Why? Because only white people can be bigots. That's why. Oh, really? If that's not racism, what is it? Homophobes. We're all homophobes. We all hate the LGBTQ, RSTUV, WHYZ, WK. We hate all those people. No, we don't hate all those people at all. We do stand up and complain about the fact that suddenly I can't take my kid downtown because there's a parade where guys are going to be walking around in women's underwear and essentially molesting each other. Yeah, I'll go complain. I'll say, man, yeah, I was taking my son down to pick a place. And we couldn't cross the street to be able to get to where we wanted to go because of a gay rights parade. Oh, okay. Well, you're obviously a homophobe. No, I'm not a homophobe at all. I was inconvenienced. I'm complaining about it. Well, that makes you a homophobe. No, it doesn't. It makes me inconvenienced. I have a sex life too. I just don't choose to parade around about it. That doesn't make me a homophobe. Well, you're an Islamophobe. What? No, I'm not. I don't have any problem with Muslims. I have big problems with terrorist Muslims. Big problems with those guys. Huge. But Muslims? No, I don't care. Live your life. Go about what you do. We're deplorable. We're deplorable, huh? Really? We built this country. Well, we built this country until the government started giving our jobs away to people who were living here illegally. 11 million of them at the last count. President of the United States crows about the fact that he was able to create 11 million jobs. That is awesome. And every single one of them was taken by an illegal immigrant. Great job, Mr. President. But because I point that out, I'm obviously against Hispanics. No, I'm not against Hispanics. What are you talking about? I'm against a government, and I'm against a group of politicians who believe that an illegal immigrant should either have the same rights I have, or they should have more rights than I have. And I point that out. And I point out a lot of other things. I must possess health insurance. If I am an illegal immigrant living in the United States, I do not have to have health insurance at all. I have to have car insurance. If I am an illegal immigrant, I don't have to have car insurance. Hell, I don't even have to have a driver's license. If I get drunk and I run over somebody, I am legally responsible for what happens. Unless I'm an illegal immigrant, in which case, I get picked up by ICE. Yeah, I get deported, but I come right back the next day. I might even be tried for a felony. I might be tried for vehicular homicide. Then I'm turned over to ICE and they just kick me out the back door and say, get out of here. Oh, yeah. No, but if I'm an American citizen, I go to jail, prison, and I stay there for years. That's what this government has done. That's what the Department of Justice has thrown at we, the people of the United States. I still maintain you're a homophobe. Why do you say that? Why do you keep bringing that up? Because you won't let transgendered persons go into the restroom or changing room of their choice. What? Because I don't want some guy masquerading as a transgendered person to glum my wife while she's trying on new clothes. I'm a homophobe. You know what I say? I say you guys have twisted yourself around this ridiculous axle of diversity that you have forgotten which restroom people should use. And then you call me names after that. Really? America is the reason that people don't either speak German or Japanese. We're the reason that the world doesn't speak German or Japanese. The United States of America is the reason that the world doesn't speak Russian. And somehow to talk about how great America is, the last remaining superpower, makes me xenophobic, eh? Standing up for my own country makes me some kind of an anti-world citizen. I'm not an anti-world citizen. I'm an American. I'm tired of all these jack wagons calling me names, telling people that I'm rotten. And I got to be perfectly honest with you. You go back and you look at all of these policies and you say, is this really a product of the Democrat Party? Is that what this is? The answer is no. These policies are the product of what surely must be the alt-left. The alternate left, the crazy leftist loony bin nutcases of incoherency. You don't know which restrooms to use. That's it. You support illegal immigrants because supporting your neighbors is what? Jingoistic? Xenophobic? Anti-Hispanic? Racist? What is it? Supporting your fellow American citizen is what? It's deplorable. That's what it is. Yeah, exactly. You guys talked yourself into oblivion, which is where all these thoughts ought to be. You did it to yourself. Don't blame Donald Trump. You think that Donald Trump is the reason that these KKK jack wagons ended up on national television? No, you need to talk about the lords of national television on that one. Yeah, because they were trying to make Donald Trump look stupid. You know what they ended up doing? They ended up making themselves look stupid. And oh, by the way, making the left look stupid. And I'm not talking about Democrats. I'm talking about the crazy leftist, loony bin, alternate left. Who do you people have to rebuild your party? Go ahead. Go ahead, elect Keith Ellison to lead your party. Go right ahead. You'll get to meet a lot of new people. You'll be able to find out firsthand whether the Muslim Brotherhood really just wants to kill Americans. You'll be able to find out firsthand. Because Keith has a lot of friends in the Muslim Brotherhood. Lots of them. The other day, a reality TV couple who rebuilds houses for people was charged with, for as ridiculous as this sounds, they were charged with going to a church where the pastor talked about traditional marriage. So what? These people should lose their show? They should stand up and spew the company line? Keith Ellison has gone to radical mosques. Is he a member of the Muslim Brotherhood? He certainly listens to what they say. Jeremiah Wright. GD America. But President Obama, he's not responsible for any of that? But this married couple on HGTV, they're responsible for that. Donald Trump, because some clowns dressed up like regular people. I guess their shirts, their sheets were being cleaned they were at the cleaners or something. So they dressed up like regular people and said, "Heil Trump." And Donald Trump's responsible for all of that, but President Obama's not responsible for Jeremiah Wright. Okay. Yeah, this is why you're out of power. And you always should be. This is the Wells Report.
This is Dan Proft from AM 560 The Answer in Chicago for townhall.com. As President-elect Trump sorts through his priorities for his first 100 days, he should deliberately set out to make the 10th Amendment great again. Good governance requires a framework rooted in first principles. To both counter allegations that he has authoritarian impulses and to unleash the populist's creative energies lying fallow, Trump should reestablish American federalism and devolve power away from the federal government. How about ending the federal government's perverse inducements to the states to expand Medicaid under Obamacare? And creating block grants from the Department of Education to fund state scholarships that give poor kids a chance to go to better schools. I suspect the nation's 33 Republican governors, and perhaps even some of the Democrats, would welcome greater sovereignty over their affairs. If Trump governs as a neo-federalist, he will indeed be making America great again. I'm Dan Proft.
Protect your wealth with gold and silver from Roslyn Capital. Call 800-299-8200. 800-299-8200.
Have you put off seeing the dentist because you can't afford to go? Are big dental bills taking a big toll on your wallet? Would you like to have dental insurance but think it's too expensive? If you answered yes to any of these questions, call Physicians Mutual Insurance Company for a free information kit. See how you can help protect your teeth and your wallet for less than $1 a day. 1-800-900-9981. This is real dental insurance that can help cover over 350 procedures, all the ones you're most likely to need. Everything from cleanings and fillings to crowns and dentures. Your acceptance is guaranteed for one of these insurance policies, even if you're retired or on Medicare. You can see any dentist you choose, and you'll never pay a deductible. Call in the next 10 minutes, and we'll rush you a free information kit with all the details. 1-800-900-9981. That's 1-800-900-9981. 1-800-900-9981.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head dealing with monthly payments, there's a powerful secret the credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $5,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're Credit Associates, and we're offering you free information on how to virtually eliminate your credit card debt and make your monthly payment affordable. To see how much you could save, call now, 1-800-700-3515. Don't declare bankruptcy. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. Credit Associates. Live better debt-free. Find out how easy it is by calling now. For the secret the credit card companies don't want you to know, call Credit Associates now and see how much money you could save for free. Call 1-800-700-3515. That's 1-800-700-3515.
Hello, Belly Flattening Helpline.
Hi, is this the number for the free trial of that belly flattening breakthrough New Biotics?
It is. We're giving away free trials to anyone, male or female, who's over 18 and wants to flatten their belly fast.
I heard that New Biotics is so effective it can actually cleanse pounds of sludge from your belly. Is that true?
Sure is. New Biotics is scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to flatten bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of rotting food and toxic sludge from your body. It even combats periodic heartburn and acid reflux. So you look and feel great. If your belly flattening results are too dramatic, simply reduce use to every other day.
Wow, I'm glad I called.
If you're over 18 and want to flatten your belly fast, call now for a free trial of New Biotics. 1-800-600-2719. But hurry, call now for details while they're still giving these trials away for free. 1-800-600-2719. If lines are busy, try again. That's 1-800-600-2719.
Toby Mac's Hits Deep Tour is back with the songs that hit you deep. Get ready to sing along all night long with Matt Maher and Mandisa. Mac Powell from Third Day. Plus, Holland, Ryan Stevenson, and Capital Kings. Food for the Hungry presents Toby Mac's Hits Deep Tour. The fans you love, the songs you sing along to on the radio. Toby Mac's Hits Deep Tour with Matt Maher, Mandisa, Mac Powell from Third Day, Holland, Ryan Stevenson, and Capital Kings. An awakening event from the Awakening Foundation.
A Dallas Baptist University concert series event. Verizon Theater in Grand Prairie, February 24th and 25th. Tickets at axs.com.
Listen to us live on iHeartRadio, 660 AM. The Answer. If it's important to you, we're talking about it right now on the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
Got some good news for you. Speaking of the alternate left, the alt-left, former Vermont Governor Howard Dean has dropped a bid to become the chairman of the Democrat National Committee, arguing the party needs a younger face. Yeah. I really feel strongly that our party needs to turn itself over to the next generation, said Dean. And I'm very happy to stay in the background and help coach whoever the chair is. I just think that one of the problems is that we had this that we had during this election is we have to connect more with young people, and that means not having faces like mine. The same level of faulty thinking that led him to perhaps consider being a part of Democrat leadership has now led him to decide not to be a part of Democrat leadership, except in the background where he can essentially screw up the political lives of those people who come behind him. I'm glad he has decided to stop running for the Democrat Party chairmanship. That's good. The reason you need to turn your party over to the next generation is because they might actually have some ideas that Americans would like instead of ideas that Americans hate. America has a government that benefits America instead of what we have now, which is America has a government which acts in spite of Americans. Bye, Howard. Really going to miss you. Not. This is the Wells Report.
It is not easy to know if you're making the right decisions with your finances and savings. If your financial plan is even slightly out of tune, you may be paying too much for taxes or retiring without a sound income plan. Jamie Blumenthal at Retirement Strategies and Solutions can help. Listen to 660 AM The Answer Saturdays at 8 p.m. to retire the right way. Or call Jamie now at 800-287-1667. That's 800-287-1667.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my air conditioning and heating company, Walker AC. Happy fall football season and dig this big game promotion from Train and Walker AC. Now through December 15th, buy a qualifying system from Train, scratch off a trade-in allowance of up to $2,000, or take special financing for 48 months. You can always count on complete satisfaction from a Train dealer, so call mine, Walker AC and Heating, 972-4-WALKER, 972-4-WALKER, or walkerac.com. Complete program eligibility, dates, details, restrictions, subject to credit approval. The company to trust for all your AC and heating needs. They're not going to sell you a system they don't need. They'll fix stuff, fair price, best prices. Love these folks. New systems from Train, the best repairs, 972-4-WALKER, 972-4, and Walker. They're my AC and heating company all year long. Walker Air Conditioning and Heating and Train, because it's hard to stop a train. 972-4-WALKER, 972-4, WALKER, or walkerac.com.
Just look at them, having a safety check. North Texas Air is experienced, licensed, insured, and local.
And if you need emergency service, call Russell Dean at North Texas Air for immediate assistance.
Remember, North Texas Air is where there's a lifetime workmanship warranty on all new system installations.
Call the North Texas Air AC and Heating Services hotline at 972-535-4858. Russell Dean at North Texas Air will get your house back to normal fast. North Texas Air, available when you need help the most. Get it fixed fast. Call 972-535-4858 or visit northtxair.com. That's northtxair.com.
Hey, Mark Davis from my friends at Zero Res. Holidays are coming. Get your carpets clean. 214-37 Clean. The special right now. 3 rooms, pre-treated, clean, sanitized, $139. Appointments going fast. 214-37 Clean. And while they're there, let's do drapes, upholstery, hardwood floors, tile, clean and microseal the granite countertops. Clean for the holidays. Zero Res, ZEROREZ, ZeroResDFW.com or 214-37 Clean. 3 rooms, $139 on the carpet, 214-37 Clean.
This is 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. Before Thursday's vote authorizing new sanctions against Iran, one of the impassioned speeches on the chamber's floor against the United States U.S.-Iran nuclear deal came from a member of President Obama's own party. Senator Robert Menendez, a veteran member of Congress and former chair of the Foreign Relations Committee, bucked the administration and most of his own Democrat Party by voicing his support for the sanctions measure, as well as reiterating his long-held opposition to the nuclear deal. Menendez believes he has paid a price for his dissent, which also included assailing President Obama as weak in his handling of Cuba, Syria, and the Russians. The Justice Department last year opened an investigation of allegations that Menendez pushed for policies that would favor a friend and a donor. Menendez has continued to criticize the Obama administration policies, but with Obama's days in the White House waning, it appears as though he's turning up the volume. There have been attempts to punish me for what I've said about the administration's policy on Iran and Cuba, said Menendez. I don't intend to be intimidated by another branch of government. Menendez was one of only 4 Democrats in the Senate who voted with Republicans against the nuclear deal. The New Jersey lawmaker, as recently as this summer, co-sponsored a bill that would authorize new sanctions on Iran, in addition to extending the right to impose the current ones. There have been attempts to punish me for what I've said about the administration policy in Iran and Cuba. I'm not going to be intimidated. What does this mean? What does this mean? Why is it that Robert Menendez is saying this? He doesn't have to. He could just be quiet. Why is he saying this? There are 2 reasons. One, because he's really angry at the president, and he probably has a pretty good reason to be really angry at the president. It's not a good thing when you're a sitting senator and suddenly the FBI is crawling all over you, trying to figure out exactly what you were doing with regards to policies and bills and so on and so forth that may or may not have benefited a friend. It's really interesting that particular investigation hasn't really gone anywhere, just hanging over Menendez's head. You know, just like a get into jail free card. I'm not a big fan of the New Jersey senator because I think he's part of the loony left just like anybody else. But I also believe that what he's trying to do is he's trying to distance himself from President Obama. Why would he want to do that? Because I believe very sincerely that when it comes to the Obama presidency, history is speaking to us. Don't you agree? The president's singular legislative achievement, Obamacare, is imploding under its own weight. That's going to be the first casualty of President Obama when he leaves office, January 20th, 2017. This is a terrible thing that the president has done to the American people. And 70% of us told him not to do it, told the Democrats not to do it, and they did it anyway. And they started losing elections almost immediately. And that's going to continue. Maybe Menendez doesn't want to be the next Democrat senator to be voted out of office. So the question is simple. Are pro-Democrats distancing themselves from this president? They're not going to be able to do it much because they're kind of stuck. You can see it every time it happens. The left, the Democrats, so on and so on. They turn inward. They turn on each other. They start accusing themselves of the same things they accuse other people of. Obviously, that Menendez is attacking President Obama means that he's a bigot. The hyperbole and the hypocrisy take different tracks to a pinnacle that lead to absurdity. And forgive Menendez when he says, I'm not playing this game with you people. Is there a Democrat Party after this? I don't think so. Not for a long time. I really don't have any idea what they're going to do. Because this is a civil war inside the Democrat Party. It's something that the Republicans had to deal with, the difference between Tea Party conservatives and Republicans, very, very stark. And in the Trump world, very, very obvious. Well, the Democrats have their same problem. Loony leftist progressive anti-American thugs masquerading as Democrats and trying to stomp the life out of any Democrat that stands up and says, hey, you know what? That's not the way it's supposed to be. Like I said, how will the Democrats pull this off? The first thing they have to do is they got to find a bunch of Democrat candidates that don't hate America. They have to find a bunch of Democrat candidates that believe in the Bill of Rights. Why don't they have that? What are we going to do with President Obama when he's out of office? Anything? Jimmy Carter started building houses for poor people. Habitat for Humanity. That's what eventually rehabilitated his good name. Well, as good as it could be. But talk about hard work. My goodness. What will President Obama do with the rest of his life? I happen to believe that he's going to go after being the General Secretary of the United Nations. I think that's the next thing on his list. He actually made a run at it last time. Last time the office came up, he made a run at the office. All I can tell the world is, you better be careful. I mean, we've always tried to figure out some way of honoring our ex-presidents. What's that going to look like with President Obama? I don't really know. But I'm very much concerned about, once again, all these Democrats pulling away from President Obama. Do they know something we don't know? It seems as though they do. Iranian officials, by the way, are furious over the latest sanctions vote, as well as other measures based on a lack of trust about its nuclear intentions and its role in supporting terrorism. Whether it be this or Cuba, my party doesn't care for foreign policy views, Menendez said. This is about the fervent belief that it's in the national interest and security of the United States to have more sanctions. Last year, Senator Menendez gained a defender in Senator Ted Cruz, a conservative Republican, Texan, who said that Menendez's foreign policy stances had sparked Obama administration retaliation against him. The coincidence is troubling, said Cruz, that the very week when Menendez opposed the Iran deal is when the Justice Department announced they're moving forward with a criminal prosecution. It raises suggestions to other Democrats that if you dare part from President Obama's White House, a criminal prosecution could be used potentially for political retribution. Senators are typically the ones that take on presidents of their own party, said Ross Baker, a visiting professor of political science at Rutgers. The profile's higher, particularly people who are seasoned. They've been around for a while. They can pull it off. Menendez said he won't hesitate to take on the incoming president, Donald Trump, either. That doesn't surprise me at all. Because once again, I'm telling you that Menendez, what he's trying to do is he's trying to fracture the bonds between the Democrat Party and the mainstream media. He's doing his best to do that. He's trying to remake the history that he's had in the Senate of the United States and in the party so that there can be some kind of Democrat Party moving forward. Part of me is happy to hear it. But part of me is now interested in trying to answer these questions. Is there a civil war inside the Democrat Party? I believe there is. Does President Obama have a presidential legacy to speak of? Sort of. He made the right moves to engage and thus kill Osama bin Laden. But what else? So the lawmakers are feeding in on themselves. The Democrat Party is folding inward. How will they fix this? Is it possible? Is it possible they're trying to rehabilitate the Democrat Party, and will they be successful? This is the Wells Report.
The last thing I wanted to inherit from my mom was her varicose and spider veins. Then it happened. Embarrassing, bulgy, naughty-looking legs. Not to mention the pain and swelling. I just couldn't stand it anymore, so I went to Vein Clinics of America.
Vein Clinics of America is the oldest, largest, most experienced vein treatment center in the U.S. And for 35 years, they've been the leading expert in the treatment of vein disease. Using state-of-the-art laser and minimally invasive treatments, they can begin restoring the natural beauty of your legs in as little as an hour with no downtime, and most treatments are covered by your insurance.
My legs look great and feel great. I even love wearing dresses again.
Whether it's a family gathering or office formal, make sure your legs look and feel their best this fall. Call now and schedule a free fast-track consultation to find out how you can finally get rid of those embarrassing varicose and spider veins. Space is limited, so call 800-300-3388. That's 800-300-3388. 800-300-3388.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my foundation company, Abacus Foundation Repair. The cooler temperatures of fall can bring weather changes that can bring changes to the soil around your house. And man, that can mean cracks in the sheetrock doors that are sticking. If you even think you got a foundation problem, please call the right company first. And that's Abacus Foundation Repair, 972-406-9000. 972-406-9000. They will map your house with the skill of an engineer, looking for possible causes. Maybe it's a plumbing issue or something, so the problem doesn't recur. If you don't need a new foundation or any kind of new pilings, they'll tell you. But if you do, you've called the right people. $1,000 off from Abacus, $1,000 off any job of 10 pilings or more. Not just any pilings, Millennium Composite Pilings, the only company that has them for the strongest foundation solution. You will be taken care of. You will be happy. You did call the right company. 972-406-9000, 972-406-9000, or abacusfoundationrepair.com.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head dealing with monthly payments, there's a powerful secret the credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $5,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're Credit Associates, and we're offering you free information on how to virtually eliminate your credit card debt and make your monthly payment affordable. To see how much you could save, call now, 1-800-700-3515. Don't declare bankruptcy. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. Credit Associates. Live better debt-free. Find out how easy it is by calling now. For the secret the credit card companies don't want you to know, call Credit Associates now and see how much money you could save for free. Call 1-800-700-3515. That's 1-800-700-3515.
Calling all business owners. Are you running your business without being incorporated? If you answered yes, you are now eligible to incorporate in just 10 minutes. It's a quick incorporation event from Incorporate.com, designed to save small business owners from the risk of losing everything. Just call this number for your free 10-minute incorporation guide, 1-800-500-9551. If you're not incorporated, it's not just your business that can be sued. It's you, too, which means you could lose everything. Your home, your car, even your life savings. That's why small business owners across the country are now scrambling to incorporate during this event. Call now for your free 10-minute incorporation guide while supplies last. 1-800-500-9551. Incorporate.com doesn't provide legal or financial advice. They just make incorporating or forming an LLC quick and easy. But hurry and call now while they're still giving these 10-minute incorporation guides away for free. Call 1-800-500-9551. That's 1-800-500-9551.
Ready and reliable, anytime, night or day. When your plumbing's got problems or your drains are clogged, that's when you need AAA. You go to AAA-auger.com.
Is your home ready for winter? Are your pipes ready to stand up to freezing temperatures? Are you worried about a natural gas leak or a sewer backup? The last thing you need is a house full of people and a floor full of water from a clogged or broken pipe. For a free home plumbing evaluation, call AAA Auger Plumbing Services, where there's never a charge for coming out and no extra charge for nights, weekends, or holidays. Call AAA Auger Plumbing Services 24-hour hotline now at 877-999-1979. That's 877-999-1979. License M37445.
When your plumbing's got problems or your drains are clogged, go to AAA-auger.com.
660 AM. The Answer. Now, by popular demand, The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. Jon-David Wells at your service. Senator Robert Menendez, very critical of President Obama. In the last months of President Obama's presidency, more and more Democrats are feeling empowered. And certainly after the results of this election, they feel empowered to take shots at the president. Is that the right thing for them to do? How many people in the Democrat Party do you think are going to lose their jobs because of President Obama? We know that, what was it? Was it 68 seats that Nancy Pelosi had lost since she's been since she's been the leader in the House of Representatives? No, I think it's 68. 63, 68. Something along that line. She's lost a lot of seats. Those are people of the United States firing Democrats. The President of the United States. I'm sorry, 63, not 68. Okay, so 63. So now we find ourselves in a position where we go, there are people that are losing their jobs in the Democrat Party. Nancy Pelosi was someone who was successfully able to fend off a challenge by a little-known Ohio congressman. But he did get 33 votes. So clearly the Democrat Party is set for change. But what I'm trying to figure out is whether or not they're going to be able to pull it off. And you're saying, who cares? Well, you should care. There's nothing more dysfunctional than a party that's in its death throes than the party that used to compete with it. Without the Democrat Party providing some sort of counterpoint to Republicans, the Republican Party damaged itself almost beyond repair. I don't know that the Democrat Party would, I don't know that the Republican Party would be in any better shape than the Democrat Party if it wasn't for the fact that the Tea Party came along and reminded the Republicans, oh yeah, conservatism. Yeah, I remember now. The only people that come to the rescue of the Democrat Party right now are members of the loony left. That's not a rescue. Not a bit. At the end of all of it, the government of the United States needs to benefit Americans, not the Democrat Party, not the Republican Party, not the media, not far-flung political buddies that run other countries. The American government should operate in the best interests of Americans. And there is nothing racist or in any way, shape, or form negative about any of that stuff. In fact, the political party that figures out that they work for the American people before the other will not just rehabilitate themselves in the eyes of the American people, but will likely never lose another election. This is the Wells Report.
Hi, this is Andy Tuttle, host of Tuttle Talk every Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer. We're in a real estate market where there's a lot of difficulty, but in difficulty, there's a lot of opportunity as well. Buying, selling, avoiding foreclosure, modifying your credit, all these things are so important to your livelihood. This show is dedicated to cutting through some of the big headlines that you see out there and teaching you how to win in any marketplace. Thank you for tuning in to Tuttle Talk every Sunday, 4 p.m. on 660 AM The Answer. I look forward to speaking with you.
This is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, and I'd like to invite you to join me for our talk show every Sunday morning. We're actually trying to convert the world to organics. We talk about the natural organic program for farming, ranching, gardening, and pest control. Also, a lot of talk about health issues for animals and people. Hope you can join us for all the fun.
Make sure to tune in to Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my air conditioning and heating company, Walker AC. Happy fall football season and dig this big game promotion from Train and Walker AC. Now through December 15th, buy a qualifying system from Train, scratch off a trade-in allowance of up to $2,000, or take special financing for 48 months. You can always count on complete satisfaction from a Train dealer, so call mine, Walker AC and Heating, 972-4-WALKER, 972, the number 4, Walker, or walkerac.com. Complete program eligibility, dates, details, restrictions, subject to credit approval. The company to trust for all your AC and heating needs. They're not going to sell you a system they don't need. They'll fix stuff, fair price, best prices. Love these folks. New systems from Train, the best repairs, 972-4-WALKER, 972, the number 4, and Walker. They're my AC and heating company all year long. Walker Air Conditioning and Heating and Train, because it's hard to stop a train. 972-4-WALKER, 972, the number 4, Walker, or walkerac.com.
Mom gives us her own special Christmas ornament every year. This year, she gave me one that looks like me playing soccer. It even has my name on it. It's my most favorite ornament ever. Thanks, Mom.
Each Christmas, moms everywhere carry on the tradition of placing special ornaments on the Christmas tree. Ornaments represent stories and memories, and PersonalCreations.com has over 1,000 to choose from in their ornament workshop. They have adorable ornaments that can be designed to look like anyone in your family, doing the activity, hobby, or occupation they love. Each ornament is expertly hand-painted or laser engraved with any name and ships within 3 days. Radio listeners, for a limited time, when you order any ornament on the site, you'll get a second one absolutely free. That's 2 amazing ornaments for the price of 1. And personalization is included. But hurry, because this exclusive offer ends this Friday at midnight. The only way to get this incredible deal is to go to PersonalCreations.com. Click on the orange star in the top right corner and enter the secret code 2000. That's PersonalCreations.com, secret code 2000.
In the world of mattresses, personalized comfort matters. Your body needs a mattress that will fit your unique physical needs, so a personalized fit means less back and neck pain and ultimately better sleep. Eric Nadel for Savin European Sleep Systems. 30 minutes with the pros at Savin. That's exactly what you get. A custom-tailored mattress and a more comfortable sleeping experience. Why buy a Savin? Why would you ever consider anything else? It's simply a better mattress. Savin European Sleep Systems. In Dallas and Southlake, go to savin.com.
Do you worry the stock market is a bubble ready to pop? If you're retired or retiring soon and can't afford to lose 30 to 50% in a crash, protect yourself now.
This is Ken Moraif, host of the Money Matters radio show, inviting you to our free seminar.
Choose 1 p.m. tomorrow, Hilton Rockwall, 7 p.m. Tuesday, December 6th, Hilton Garden Inn, Fort Worth Medical District, or Thursday, December 8th in Plano. Seating is limited. Reserve now at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net, or call 800-994-0302. Again, 800-994-0302.
An important message from Medicare.
I found a better deal on prescriptions.
I found a new plan with lower costs. It's Medicare Open Enrollment. Have you compared plans yet? Who knows what you might find? Check out your options at Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
You never know unless you go.
Medicare Open Enrollment, October 15th through December 7th. Brought to you by the Department of Health and Human Services.
Geico presents a voicemail from your friend, Electricity.
Hey, it's me, Electricity. So I'll keep this short. Get it? Never mind. Anyway, I just want to make sure you're not still mad at me about that electrical fire in your kitchen. I mean, obviously you're not, but I'm just checking to make sure. It's no big deal if you are. It's not like you're asking me to pay for the damage. Right?
Electricity won't pay for an electrical fire. Luckily, the Geico Insurance Agency makes getting coverage a snap. Visit geico.com to see how affordable renter's insurance can be.
660 AM. The Answer. The truth. The whole truth.
And
And nothing but the truth. The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759, a number that you can use to get through to us on the Wells Report. You can also use to get through to Mark Davis tomorrow morning between 7 and 10.
Monday morning.
Pardon?
Monday morning.
I'm sorry, Monday morning. This is Friday. Yeah, Friday morning. What's he got planned for us on Monday here on the Wells, or here on 660 AM The Answer? Let's find out.
Hey, JD, happy Friday night and a good weekend, all y'all. On Monday morning, you've often heard me say there's so much going on, I sometimes need two shows. On Monday, that's what I got. Join me dark and early on the Hugh Hewitt Show. I'll be doing Hugh's program Monday, 5 to 8 a.m. And then 8 to 10, just you and me hanging out in Texas. It'll be a weekend filled with news and developments requiring our attention. So join me in a chat with the nation on the Hugh Hewitt Show, 5 to 8 a.m. Monday. And then 8 to 10, our regular gig, a big Monday. Come be a part of it right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Sounds like fun, Mark. Have yourself a great time with Hugh Hewitt's broadcast audience. Those guys, that's a great show. Hugh Hewitt really has, he has come to his full power as a morning guy. He sounds like $1 million in that show. Check him out. Between 5 and 8 every morning here on 660 AM The Answer. 5 to 7, and well, the show's on from. He's going to be on. Mark will be on. He'll be on doing 3 hours of the Hugh Hewitt Show, and then he'll do 8 to 10 here. Yeah, that's the way that worked. That's what happens. They changed the schedule a little bit because Vicky was pointing out that Mark usually works from 7 until 10, except when he's filling in for Hugh Hewitt, in which case he is on the Hugh Hewitt Show for 3 hours instead of 2 hours. There you have it. So what I was talking about here was I was talking about a United States government that requires we, the people of the United States, to hold it accountable. And I said it's not just politicians. It's not just politicians. It's also federal judges. And the reason that we have to work so hard at making sure that federal judges understand that they are at some level beholden to the public is because they're playing politics. And not only that, the left of the United States is playing politics with them. I'm sure they're aware of it. The way this works is that the left, because they are bereft of any decent legislative plan to make America better. All they can do is use America for their own political ends. Because of that, they can't get any bills passed. And those bills that they do get passed kind of implode in their own way. Obamacare, for example. So what do? They turn to the judicial system to function as kind of an oligarchical super legislature. All they have to do is convince one person instead of convincing an entire legislature, or at least a majority of a legislature. And so the battleground moving forward for one of the battlegrounds moving forward for the protection of this republic is going to be to get rid of judges who malfunction as quickly as we possibly can. And we have an opportunity. Listen to this. A federal judge today considered a request to dismiss a lawsuit filed by the parents of Kate Steinle, a young woman shot and killed allegedly by an illegal immigrant on a San Francisco pier last year. The family sued the city and 2 federal agencies, accusing them of wrongdoing because of the suspect's illegal status. The judge in today's hearing was expected to decide within days whether to dismiss the suit. The family's counsel said the judge was obviously well briefed and seemed focused on the single issue of the BLM case, which seemed to be about the conduct of law enforcement officers and foreseeable circumstances. A Bureau of Land Management ranger reported that a gun was stolen from his car while it was parked in downtown San Francisco. Juan Francisco Lopez Sanchez said he found the gun and fired it when he picked it up. The shot struck Steinle in the back. He pled not guilty to a second-degree murder charge. Kate Steinle's parents accused the sheriff's department of failing to notify federal immigration officials that it was releasing Lopez Sanchez from jail. They also sued Immigration and Customs Enforcement and the Bureau of Land Management, calling the entire episode a tragic series of events. It's actually a tragic series of negligence. The lawsuit seeks unspecified damages. There is not enough money to pay the Steinle family for the loss that they've endured. I can guess, though, I would say about $1.5 million for the BLM because they can't have agents that manage to keep track of their weapons. So that's $1.5 million. And I would say that San Francisco owes at least $10 million because they made it possible for Juan Francisco Lopez Sanchez to have a safe place to live in the United States, and they're damn proud of it. There's no remorse on the part of the city of San Francisco on this. They're thrilled about it. They're standing there saying, we will be a sanctuary city forever, stamping their feet, mocking Donald Trump. Okay, $10 million. Run your mouth, please, by all means. Flout American law. Okay. It's going to cost you $10 million at least. So we're up to 11.5. And then there's Immigrations and Customs Enforcement. You see, the problem with Immigrations and Customs Enforcement is that this guy had been tried 5 times and convicted of felonies in the United States and deported. Came back 6 times. Just in time to kill Kate Steinle. So whatever amount of money that you want to assess as damages by Immigrations and Customs officials for their outright negligence is going to have to be multiplied by a factor of 5 because they had 5 chances to get this guy and keep this guy out of America's society, and they did not take them. So let's say what? $3 million times 5, $15 million. So that's $26.5 million. And because it's negligence, there's punitive damages. So everything's times 3. $26.5 million times 3. And that's how much these people owe the Steinle family. And it's absolutely ridiculous that this judge is actually considering throwing the case out. What he did is that he entertained a hearing on throwing the case out of court, which is okay. He's not in trouble yet. But I will tell you this. If he throws this case out of court, he needs to be removed from office. I did some research. The discipline process of federal judges is initiated by the filing of a complaint by any person alleging that a judge has engaged in conduct prejudicial to the effective and expeditious administration of the business of the courts, or alleging that such judge is unable to discharge all the duties of the office by reason of mental or physical disability. If the chief judge of the circuit does not dismiss the complaint or conclude the proceedings, then he or she must promptly appoint himself or herself, along with an equal number of circuit judges and district judges, to a special committee to investigate the facts and allegations in the complaint. The committee must conduct such investigation as it finds necessary, and then expeditiously file a comprehensive written report of its investigation with the judicial council of the circuit involved. Upon receipt of such a report, the judicial council of the circuit may conduct any additional investigation it deems necessary, and it may dismiss the complaint. If it dismisses the complaint, then you go after the chief judge of the circuit, and you start the whole process again. If a judge who is the subject of a complaint holds his or her office during good behavior, action taken by the judicial council may include certifying disability of the judge. The judicial council may also, in its discretion, refer any complaint under 28 U.S. Code 351, along with a record of any associated proceedings and its recommendations for appropriate actions, to the Judicial Conference of the United States. The conference may exercise its authority under judicial discipline provisions as a conference or through a standing committee appointed by the Chief Justice. How to remove a federal judge. This from Yale, the Yale Law Journal. Most everyone assumes that impeachment is the only means of removing a federal judge, and that the Constitution's grant of good behavior tenure is an implicit reference to impeachment. This article challenges that conventional wisdom. Using evidence from England, the colonies, and the revolutionary state constitutions, the article demonstrates that the founding good behavior tenure and impeachment had only the most tenuous of relationships. Good behavior tenure was forfeitable upon a judicial finding of misbehavior. There would have to be a trial, the hearing of witnesses, and the introduction of evidence, with misbehavior proved by the party seeking to oust the tenured individual. Contrary to what that might suppose, judges were not the only ones who could be granted good behavior tenure. Anything that might be held, land, licenses, employment, etc., could be granted during good behavior, and private parties could grant good behavior tenure to other private individuals. Impeachment, by contrast, referred to a criminal procedure conducted in the legislature that could lead to an array of criminal sanctions. In England, in the colonies, impeachment was never seen as a means of judging whether someone with good behavior tenure had forfeited her tenure by reason of misbehavior. Whether a landholder, employee, or government officer with good behavior tenure had misbehaved would be determined in an ordinary court of law. Moreover, the vast majority of state constitutions did not equate good behavior tenure with impeachment either. To the contrary, many distinguished them explicitly. Taken together, these provisions or propositions devastate the conventional conflation of good behavior tenure with impeachment. More importantly, they indicate that the original Constitution did not render impeachment the only means possible of removing judges with good behavior tenure. Given the long tradition of adjudicating misbehavior in the ordinary courts, Congress may enact necessary and proper legislation permitting the removal of federal judges upon finding of misbehavior in the ordinary courts of law. What does this all mean? This means if the federal judge sets aside these lawsuits by the family against the Bureau of Land Management for outright incompetence and neglect, for the city of San Francisco for criminal violation of the law, and for Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, again, for gross negligence, then he himself needs to be removed from the bench forthwith. Now, this is a federal deal, which means that any person like you or me can pursue this judge. And it isn't a California court that would prove whether or not he could stay or not. Seems to me that this is the first real good chance we have to start showing these judges that they'd better interpret law instead of politics. This is the Wells Report.
We all know life can get crazy and you're not always near a radio, but one thing is for sure, your phone goes everywhere with you. And now we can too. Download the 660 AM The Answer app to your phone and listen live wherever you go. If you miss any of the Mark Davis Show or the Wells Report, you can catch up whenever, wherever. Plus, dial the 660 AM The Answer studio directly from the app. And it's free. We make it easy to stay connected. Download our app now. 660 AM The Answer.
This is a national healthcare alert from the Health Hotline. If you have severe knee or back pain and you have Medicare or private insurance, we have great news. Finally, there's a way to reduce your pain without surgery or taking medications. Call us today and learn how you can qualify to get a pain-relieving knee or back brace at little or no cost to you. We'll even ship your brace for free. If you have excruciating knee or back pain and you have Medicare or private insurance, don't wait. You may qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving, nearly invisible knee or back brace at little or no cost to you. I've used one, they're comfortable, and they work, and we guarantee your happiness. So call right now and get yours. I promise, we're here to take your call. Thank you.
800-474-5716. 800-474-5716. 800-474-5716. That's 800-474-5716.
Have you put off seeing the dentist because you can't afford to go? Are big dental bills taking a big toll on your wallet? Would you like to have dental insurance but think it's too expensive? If you answered yes to any of these questions, call Physicians Mutual Insurance Company for a free information kit. See how you can help protect your teeth.
Check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, according to the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Paul Ryan, everything's just peachy keno between himself and Donald Trump. Do you believe that? I'm not sure that I believe that statement as far as I can throw either of these two men. I will tell you, however, that Paul Ryan is trying to put up a good front. The question is not what he will say. The question is what he's going to do. Do you believe that Paul Ryan is actually going to work with Donald Trump? Let's talk it over next time on the Wells Report. Mark Davis, good Monday morning, buddy. Well said. Oh, let me try this again. Mark Davis, good Monday morning, my friend. You sound great on Hugh Hewitt Show. It's always good to have you here for Texas only on 660 AM The Answer. Coming up later on the Wells Report, we're going to be talking about Speaker Paul Ryan. He says everything's hunky-dory between himself and Donald Trump. They've really come together and had a meeting of the minds. Do you believe that? You see, it's not so much about what Paul Ryan says, as far as I'm concerned. It's what he actually does. Do you think Paul Ryan is going to work with Donald Trump, or is he going to be a Republican? We'll talk about it next time on the Wells Report.
Again, text TRIAL to 303030.
Message and data rates may apply. Membership fees apply after 30-day free trial. Cancel anytime.
Here comes Christmas. Are you making a list? Checking it twice? I've got something to put on your list. You're looking for savings, doing a lot of shopping. Get a load of these savings, and it's something that I want you to have. Mark Davis and my friends at Climate Evangelista Eye Center. They have a toy drive. Bring in a new unwrapped kid's toy for a free LASIK consultation and get a certificate for $1,500 off your procedure. This is incredible, and it's the end of the year. Time to use those flex spending account dollars before you lose them. So it's a no-brainer. You want LASIK? Now's the time to get it. Climate Evangelista Eye Center. 1-800-714-2020. 1-800-714-2020 or LASIK, L-A-S-I-K, LASIKsurgery.com. They offer affordable payment options, value match guarantee. Learn more at LASIKsurgery.com. Some restrictions may apply. Contact Climate Evangelista for complete details. Plug into that toy drive. Get $1,500 off your LASIK procedure. Make a list. Check it twice. Call Climate Evangelista, 1-800-714-2020, 1-800-714-2020, or LASIKsurgery.com.
Nearly 200,000 Texans were abused by their intimate partners last year. 74% of Texans will experience abuse or know someone who has. Legal solutions are the only proven, permanent way to break the cycle of violence. Texas Advocacy Project provides free legal assistance to victims of domestic and dating violence, sexual assault, and stalking. Call an attorney and get the free legal assistance you need today. Call 1-800-374-HOPE.
660 AM The Answer. 660 AMTheAnswer.com. If it's important to you, it's on the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. You know, sometimes the left says things that are kind of weird. And when they say them, they sort of say them with a straight face, hoping that nobody will start laughing. Mexico's ambassador to the United States is warning President-elect Donald Trump that building a wall on the southwestern corner or the southwestern U.S. border would hurt, are you ready? Would hurt the environment. Really? We fear there will be consequences regarding environmental issues, said Carlos Manuel Sada Solana, Mexico's ambassador to the U.S. Mexico has resisted Trump's proposal and continues to reject Trump's demand that Mexico should be forced to pay for the wall. Sada reiterated the stance and encouraged Trump to see Mexico as a partner, not an enemy. Well, good fences make good neighbors. So anyway, they just threw that out there, and they don't have any reasoning behind it. Now, that's not the left. The wall will be an environmental disaster. Why? Because coyotes will bump their heads? What are they talking about? This is the Wells Report.
Everyone has at least one great idea. Learn what to do with it and how to do it by listening to Idea Shares Radio every Sunday at 8 p.m. Idea Shares Radio is the show for entrepreneurs, inventors, and innovators. Your co-hosts, Brian Church, CEO and best-selling author, and Les Stouter, entrepreneur and business expert, will help take your ideas from a napkin sketch to the marketplace and teach you how to protect your intellectual property. So tune in for Idea Shares every Sunday at 8 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer.
You can buy your next gun anywhere, but there's nowhere like Texas Gun Pros. Their gun shows, big box stores, and even the occasional eccentric dealer. But there is no one like the Texas Gun Pros. Texas Gun Pros are truly your pros for all your gun needs, bringing your big store selection with a local family experience. There truly is no one like Texas Gun Pros. What else makes the Texas Gun Pros stand out from the rest? An online catalog with hundreds of guns, guaranteed to have the one you're looking for. Texas Gun Pros is the only place in North Texas that can give you the gun you want for the price you can afford. Don't miss out on the amazing selection and friendly staff at Texas Gun Pros. Stop by and see the new location at 8245 Precinct Line Road in North Richland Hills, or check out the website at texasgunpros.com. That's texasgunpros.com. See how it feels to be a member of the Texas Gun Pros family. Find us online at texasgunpros.com.
Hey everybody, Mark Davis from my friends at Viascan of Las Colinas. Simple question. What are we trying to do? Well, Mark, what do you mean? I mean, what are we trying to do? Let's make the list. Eat healthy, lose weight, that's all good. But listen, on that list somewhere, keep aware of our own bodies. Try to fend off heart attacks and cancer by being aware of what's going on inside us. Scan technology exists, and Viascan prices give us the motivation to do the job right. At Viascan of Las Colinas, John Duncan and the crew are there for you at a number I'm about to share so that you can see through the heart scan if you have plaques or blockages going on in your heart. See through the body scan what's going on in various other vital organs, maybe any pesky cancers that are festering there that you can detect early, the virtual colonoscopy, and so much more so we can stay healthy, stay on the planet, stay plugged into life. 972-739-2840. Call them. 972-739-2840, or just Google ViaScan.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group. On the NASDAQ as SALM. KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Rich Dennison. Wildfires in Tennessee now blamed on 13 deaths as residents of Gatlinburg begin returning home following evacuations.
We're going to be okay. We're going to rise up. We're going to bounce back.
Gatlinburg Mayor Mike Werner. Jurors in the Michael Slager murder trial are home for the weekend. They've deliberated for 3 days in the case of the white former South Carolina patrolman charged in the shooting death of a black motorist.
We are not worried about it taking so long because justice takes a long time sometimes.
Chris Stewart, attorney for the family of Walter Scott, who was shot in the back running from a traffic stop in April of last year. President-elect Donald Trump is tweeting that the president of Taiwan called him today to wish him congratulations. It's seen as a move likely to anger China. The U.S. broke diplomatic ties with Taiwan in 1979. Fox News, we report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer.
This is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, and I'd like to invite you to join me for our talk show every Sunday morning. We're actually trying to convert the world to organics. We talk about the natural organic program for farming, ranching, gardening, and pest control. Also, a lot of talk about health issues for animals and people. Hope you can join us for all the fun.
Make sure to tune in to Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Hi, this is Andy Tuttle, host of Tuttle Talk every Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer. We're in a real estate market where there's a lot of difficulty, but in difficulty, there's a lot of opportunity as well. Buying, selling, avoiding foreclosure, modifying your credit, all these things are so important to your livelihood. This show is dedicated to cutting through some of the big headlines that you see out there and teaching you how to win in any marketplace. Thank you for tuning in to Tuttle Talk every Sunday, 4 p.m. on 660 AM The Answer. I look forward to speaking with you.
This is Dan Proft from AM 560 The Answer in Chicago for townhall.com. As President-elect Trump sorts through his priorities for his first 100 days, he should deliberately set out to make the 10th Amendment great again. Good governance requires a framework rooted in first principles. To both counter allegations that he has authoritarian impulses and to unleash the populist's creative energies lying fallow, Trump should reestablish American federalism and devolve power away from the federal government. How about ending the federal government's perverse inducements to the states to expand Medicaid under Obamacare? And creating block grants from the Department of Education to fund state scholarships that give poor kids a chance to go to better schools. I suspect the nation's 33 Republican governors, and perhaps even some of the Democrats, would welcome greater sovereignty over their affairs. If Trump governs as a neo-federalist, he will indeed be making America great again. I'm Dan Proft.
Protect your wealth with gold and silver from Roslyn Capital. Call 800-299-8200. 800-299-8200.
Thanks for calling Soma Biotics. Are you calling for a free trial of our belly flattening breakthrough?
Actually, I already got the free trial. It totally flattened my belly.
Wow, that's great news.
But now I have a problem I never thought I'd have. My belly just keeps getting flatter. I mean, I don't want to look like a runway model, but I don't want to stop taking Soma Biotics either. Because seriously, I've never looked this good.
Well, here's one thing you can do. Only take Soma Biotics every other day. That'll keep up your results without making your belly too flat. And if you ever need to ramp up your belly flattening results again, just go back to taking it every day.
To get your free trial of Soma Biotics, call 1-800-900-1645. You're going to love how you look. And if your belly flattening results are too dramatic, simply reduce use to every other day. But hurry and call now for details while they're still giving it away for free. Call 1-800-900-1645. That's 1-800-900-1645. 1-800-900-1645.
How much of your life are you losing because of pain? I'm Dr. Chad Glines, DC at Genesis Back and Neck, and I really do want to give you your life back.
Hi, my name is Brenda. I had 5 of the lower discs in my back that had herniated and they had pressed against the nerves and I could not move, hadn't felt my right leg in 8 months. The pain was so bad. Neurologists and surgeons had told me I'd never walk. And then I went back into the office with Dr. Chad and I told him, I've had so many people tell me there's nothing I can do. And he says, I'm pretty sure I can get you out of that wheelchair. And little by little, he got me up walking and it has gotten so much better. I cannot tell you how much I admire everybody in that office.
That just blesses me to hear that. At Genesis, we accept most major insurances, and your first visit will be at no charge. Call me. 817-328-1922. That's 817-328-1922 or online at genesisback.com.
Hi, I'm Larry Patterson, owner of Glass Doctor. In our disposable society, we're conditioned to throw out the whole thing when just one part goes bad. Like when the insulated glass windows in your home get condensation between the panes. You don't need to replace the whole window. The specialists at Glass Doctor can install new insulated glass in your existing frames with a lifetime warranty for a lot less than you might think. To see how quick and easy it is, visit glassdoctor.com today. That's glassdoctor.com.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your paint. Oh, yeah!
If you're retired or retiring soon, don't miss the special free Money Matters Retirement Seminar. Choose 1 p.m. tomorrow, Hilton Rockwall, or 7 p.m. Tuesday, December 6th, Hilton Garden Inn, Fort Worth Medical District. Find out what you can do before year end to take advantage of gains when possible while helping protect your retirement from a stock market crash. 5 strategies to help save on income taxes, the best time to take Social Security in changing times, and much more. Please reserve now at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net or call 800-994-0302.
Welcome to Staples. Staples, guy. Holidays are crazy. I have sales to promote, clients to thank. Well, Staples is your holiday printing headquarters with fast turnaround on banners and signs, and cards and invitations are now 20% off our already low prices. Staples, guy. How did you know that's what I wanted? I dropped some hints, but I never expected to actually get it. Glad you like it. It's perfect. Turn year-end stress into holiday success with 20% off custom holiday cards and invitations.
by the way. We're broadcasting live on YouTube live events, and we're having a little trouble. I just fixed the sound again, so that should fix it. Let me double check. Yep, there you go. And now you have sound again, theoretically. I'm hoping. Let's see. Okay, no sound at 23:07. So that was about what, 5 minutes? Sorry, guys. Good night, Candace. Thanks for joining us. Candace from Rockville, Illinois. Rockford, Illinois. Sorry. Rockford, Illinois. She's joining us. Cool. Let's see. Yes, they should come back. Sound should come back at 11:22. No, I'm sorry. We got that figured out. Okay. All right. So anyway, do you believe that the FBI will continue their investigation into Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundation? Yeah, I think so. Should they continue that investigation? Yeah, I think so. I think what Donald Trump wants to do is he wants to distance himself from the investigation because it was absolutely wrong for President Obama to politicize it in the first place. It should have never happened. The fact that the president apparently exerted true undue influence onto the investigations, just absolutely improper. Ed Klein, the person who wrote The Amateur, that was the first book that we finally discovered Ed Klein. This guy is truly an amazing human being. He was talking about the fact that that all this pay for play and all this other stuff, all this stuff is completely and totally righteous. These are big problems here. And he was the guy that was saying that the Obama administration made it very clear to both James Comey, the FBI, and the Justice Department that they were not willing to see Hillary Clinton investigated any further or found guilty or indicted at all. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this as saying, you know, this truly needs to be continued. The Congress of the United States needs to create a very serious precedent that people who lie before Congress, regardless of who they are, will be punished. Hillary Clinton committed perjury clearly in front of Congress. If they don't do something about that, if there's not some sort of criminal outcome to that, why in heaven's name would any high official in the United States government ever consider even bother showing up to testify for the Congress or to worry about lying in front of the Congress if they do show up? 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. This is a real mess. This is another one of these gigantic trash heaps that we, the people of the United States, are going to have to sift through. Thanks to President Obama, and thanks to the fact that he's willing to play fast and loose with the laws of the United States, all based on political considerations. You got to take it step by step. You cannot intimidate people from doing their jobs, especially when those jobs have to do with the laws of the United States. I have absolutely zero doubt whatsoever that what happened in the case of Hillary Clinton's email server was a political exercise from the get-go, which means that the Department of Justice is a political organization. The FBI is a political organization. The director of the FBI is a political position in the government. That the law really drops out of the solution set. It just depends on who is being accused of breaking what law. And depending on their politics, whether or not they're going to be prosecuted or not. You got to go all the way back to the beginning. You got to go all the way back to the beginning when you find out that there is indeed a private email server. This is flying in the face of, and this is something that didn't really come out until almost the entire investigation was over, or after it was declared over by James Comey. Hillary Clinton had an email server set up in her home outside a skiff. She had secure facilities installed in her home. And yet she had a server that she used for all of her business as Secretary of State outside of that secure facility that was built in her home. Mr. Comey, that's intent. That's intent to violate the law. Right there. And so what must we do? Well, if I'm Donald Trump, I ask for James Comey's resignation immediately. Without a shred of hesitation. I nominate, I don't know, how about Rudy Giuliani to be the director of the FBI? How about that? And then what you do is you let Rudy Giuliani decide whether or not Hillary Clinton is going to be investigated or not. I think that's a fine plan. I think that Jeff Sessions will restore, even though he's a politician, he will restore the fact that the Justice Department will be a Justice Department and not a political opportunity provided by the Justice Department. And I think we might be able to heal up this country. This is the Wells Report.
You need a plan as you get closer to retirement, a plan that will take you from where you are now to the retirement you've always dreamed about. The first step on that path is to tune into Wealth Smart, Saturdays at 9 a.m. Your host is Reed Johnson, president of Lake Point Advisory Group. You only retire once, but Reed helps people retire every day. Don't miss Wealth Smart every Saturday at 9 a.m. or visit us at lakepointadvisorygroup.com for information on our free area stake dinner seminars and start working on your dream retirement now.
The last thing I wanted to inherit from my mom was her varicose and spider veins. Then it happened. Embarrassing, bulgy, naughty-looking legs. Not to mention the pain and swelling. I just couldn't stand it anymore, so I went to Vein Clinics of America.
Vein Clinics of America is the oldest, largest, most experienced vein treatment center in the U.S. And for 35 years, they've been the leading expert in the treatment of vein disease. Using state-of-the-art laser and minimally invasive treatments, they can begin restoring the natural beauty of your legs in as little as an hour with no downtime, and most treatments are covered by your insurance.
My legs look great and feel great. I even love wearing dresses again.
Whether it's a family gathering or office formal, make sure your legs look and feel their best this fall. Call now and schedule a free fast-track consultation to find out how you can finally get rid of those embarrassing varicose and spider veins. Space is limited, so call 800-300-3388. That's 800-300-3388. 800-300-3388.
If you're a business owner, I want you to imagine standing on home plate in front of a sold-out crowd of 50,000 raving fans at a professional baseball game. Then you get a microphone and you have 60 seconds to tell the crowd why they should do business with you. Out of 50,000 people, do you think you might get some new customers? Sure you would. Now imagine you could do that in front of 4 sold-out baseball games. That's 200,000 people. Did you know that's how many people listen to 660 AM The Answer every week? And you have the opportunity to stand in front of the 660 AM The Answer microphone and get 60 seconds to tell our raving fans all about your business. Do you think you'd get new customers if you did that? You bet. The businesses you hear on 660 AM The Answer are knocking it out of the park with new customers. If you're open to seeing how much it costs to advertise your business on 660 AM The Answer, send an email request to advertise@ksky.com. That's advertise@ksky.com. Let's play ball.
Ready and reliable, anytime, night or day. When your plumbing's got problems or your drains are clogged, that's when you need AAA. You go to AAA-auger.com.
Is your home ready for winter? Are your pipes ready to stand up to freezing temperatures? Are you worried about a natural gas leak or a sewer backup? The last thing you need is a house full of people and a floor full of water from a clogged or broken pipe. For a free home plumbing evaluation, call AAA Auger Plumbing Services, where there's never a charge for coming out and no extra charge for nights, weekends, or holidays. Call AAA Auger Plumbing Services 24-hour hotline now at 877-999-1979. That's 877-999-1979. License M37445.
When your plumbing's got problems or your drains are clogged, go to AAA-auger.com.
As you shop this month, are you tired of spending money with liberal companies that don't support your values? Vote with your dollars. Hey, Mark Davis, and this extends to your cell phone company, Patriot Mobile, the nation's only conservative cell phone company, and they share your conservative values. So you got Black Friday, Cyber Monday, lots of shopping. Vote with your dollars and avoid companies that support liberal causes like Planned Parenthood, the ACLU, gun control radicals. Go to patriotmobile.com/Mark. patriotmobile.com/Mark or 1-800-A-PATRIOT. They'll help you get out of your current contract, keep your same phone number, same phone selection. Speaking of phone selection, let's go to patriotmobile.com/Mark and get a load of this. Free Galaxy S7 with a $60 talk text data plan, or a free iPhone 5S and Apple Care for a year with a $50 a month plan. These holiday specials are not going to last long, so act now. Let's stand together this holiday season, support the conservative causes that they contribute to. patriotmobile.com/Mark, 1-800-A-PATRIOT or patriotmobile.com/Mark.
Welcome to Staples. Staples guy, I desperately need a new office PC this holiday, but switching computers is scary. Well, now buy any PC at Staples and get free 30-day tech support. So someone will help me set it up? Yep. Help me connect to my network? And your printer. And if you order online, we'll have it ready in store in an hour. That is just what I always wanted. You really outdid yourself, Staples guy. You know me so well. Well, we just met, so. Best holiday ever!
Turn year-end stress into holiday success. Staples. Make more happen.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. I believe that no one is bigger than the law. I don't believe that Hillary Clinton is too big to jail. I believe that Hillary Clinton has done everything she could possibly do to be as close to violating the law as she could possibly be without actually getting caught at it for most of her adult life. This is part and parcel of the way that most organized crime operates. The laws they break are usually not so terrible that they can't be overlooked. Gambling? Seriously? Are you really going to bust someone for having a poker game at their house or at their social club? Are you really going to do that? Probably not. But it is a crime. Organized crime made a fortune doing that. Full-on casinos. I'm sure they're still there today. Still run by the same people. still being ignored by the same people. Hell, it wouldn't surprise me if it wouldn't surprise me if those illegal casinos that are certainly running right this very moment, right in this very area, it wouldn't surprise me at all if they don't pay taxes to the IRS, which is what essentially got the boys in trouble in Las Vegas. Pay your taxes. What are they going to do? So that's essentially what the Clintons have always done. Now, there are a lot of people that say that the Clintons have cost the lives of a lot of people. I don't know. That's an awful lot of political cover-ups. I don't know. It may be possible that behind all of this is this dark, horrifying political murder incorporated. There may be something like that. I don't know. But until there's some shred of proof, I think Vince Foster did himself in. I'm still confused as to whether or not that kid was providing the leaked information to WikiLeaks or not. I don't know. I think it's crazy as hell that somebody would be sure to tell the entire world that what happened to that kid was a robbery when nothing was taken. It also seems to me that it's a little bit strange that he was fighting with somebody in front of him and then he was shot in the back. How did that work? But like I said, the truth will out. And nobody's above the law. So at the end of the day, what do we do with Hillary? Yeah, we chase her down. Collect all the information, turn it over to a grand jury, let the grand jury decide. If they say a trial is necessary, if an indictment is necessary, then so be it. Then we try it and we see what the people think. We see what the jury says. You know, like it's justice that like Mama used to make. This is the Wells Report.
Sean Hannity says we need to listen to our defense specialists.
In this Ohio State attack, you had a Somali man, Abdul Artan, a student at the university, Somali refugee. And I kept saying, well, why aren't we listening to our National Intelligence Director, Clapper, and our House Homeland Security Chairman, McCall? Because they all said radical Islamists will infiltrate the refugee populations.
The Sean Hannity Show, afternoons at 2, right before Larry Elder at 5 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Everyone has at least one great idea. Learn what to do with it and how to do it by listening to Idea Shares Radio every Sunday at 8 p.m. Idea Shares Radio is the show for entrepreneurs, inventors, and innovators. Your co-hosts, Brian Church, CEO and best-selling author, and Les Stouter, entrepreneur and business expert, will help take your ideas from a napkin sketch to the marketplace and teach you how to protect your intellectual property. So tune in for Idea Shares every Sunday at 8 p.m. right here on 660 AM. The Answer.
I'm Ian Parrish. Do you have real estate that you want to sell? Is it an apartment building, a shopping center, waterfront property, or even a modest townhome? If you're not getting offers, it's not the market, and it's not your fault. More options are always better than fewer ones, and there may be options you haven't been given. Options that every seller has, but that most owners and agents don't understand. Let me tell you about my dad, Charles Parrish. He's licensed, bonded, insured, and A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. He's been buying property, auctioning real estate, and getting owners the money they need for 45 years. Let Charles make you an offer or give you a no-obligation consultation about all of your options. Call now to talk with Charles at 866-474-7000 or visit him at charlesparish.com. That's Parish with 2 R's. Call now, 866-474-7000.
I'm Charles Parrish. Call me and we'll talk about your property. John Truitt, CEO of Simple Sleep Services here. If you're in the market for a custom-fit oral device to treat your obstructive sleep apnea or snoring, go to simplesleepservices.com. We've treated more patients than anyone in DFW and, in fact, the entire United States. Don't be fooled by online products or imposters. Call the experts at 469-685-1700. That's 469-685-1700 or simplesleepservices.com. No CPAP, no surgery, just simple sleep. Simplesleepservices.com.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for My Air Conditioning and Heating. Walker AC. Happy fall football season and dig this big game promotion from Train and Walker AC. Now through December 15th, buy a qualifying system from Train, scratch off a trade-in allowance of up to $2,000 or take special financing for 48 months. You can always count on complete satisfaction from a Train dealer, so call mine, Walker AC and Heating. 972-4-WALKER, 972-4-WALKER, or WalkerAC.com. Complete program eligibility, dates, details, restrictions, subject to credit approval. The company to trust for all your AC and heating needs. They're not going to sell you a system they don't need. They'll fix stuff, fair price, best prices. Love these folks. New systems from Train, the best repairs, 972-4-WALKER, 972-4, and Walker. They're my AC and heating company all year long. Walker Air Conditioning and Heating and Train, because it's hard to stop a train. 972-4-WALKER, 972-4-WALKER, or WalkerAC.com.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head dealing with monthly payments, there's a powerful secret that credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $5,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're Credit Associates, and we're offering you free information on how to virtually eliminate your credit card debt and make your monthly payment affordable. To see how much you could save, call now, 1-800-700-3515. Don't declare bankruptcy. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. Credit Associates. Live better debt-free. Find out how easy it is by calling now. For the secret the credit card companies don't want you to know, call Credit Associates now and see how much money you could save for free. Call 1-800-700-3515. That's 1-800-700-3515.
The holidays are here. This year, be sure to get real cash back on all your shopping with Ibotta. Download the free Ibotta app, IBOTTA, and get cash back on gifts, groceries, and essentials for all your celebrations. Just unlock, shop, and get cash. Gifts for them, cash for you. Download Ibotta free today and get $10 just for trying it. $10. IBOTTA. This holiday, you've gotta Ibotta.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. Now, a Texas radio tradition. The Friday Flameout on the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
It's the Friday Flameout, your opportunity to whine, moan, groan, complain, gripe, rouse, express your extreme displeasure with whatever it is that drove you the craziest this week, up to and including anything I may have said. I, your helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, your great queen, reverend announcer. Call us 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. Jon-David typed.
Ish.
No, that was good. That was a good one right there. 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. Have you got a complainant? If you have a complaint, please call us. 866-660-5759. Let's see. And start with whatever it is that drove you the craziest. All right? I've got a whole bunch of really cool stuff here because Vicky Stifer is the world's greatest executive producer. Have you got a Friday Flameout, buddy? You do? You have a Friday Flameout. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the technical director and conductor of the Wells Report Orchestra, Mr. Matt Swinney, with his Friday Flameout.
Jon-David.
Yes.
I've got, it's just basically a message to all Democrats. Get over it. Your side lost. Just move on. That's
I
what
remember
we did
the snarky.
whenever Obama was, the past, whenever he won back to back, we didn't complain about it. We just moved on. We did our job. So just do your job.
Yes. So you're tired of people from the left continuing to complain, like those people, hassling Kellyanne Conway. Yeah. Yeah, that was ridiculous. That happened at Harvard University. Yes. And it's like at the John F. Kennedy's School of Government. It's like, gosh, I just keep thinking that that they really did blow this badly, and they blew it by calling everybody racist who disagreed with them. And then they got in front of everybody in Harvard and said, "You're racist for disagreeing with us." They didn't have anything else. They had nothing else. They learned nothing from the election. Nothing. It's unbelievable. 866-660-5759. Whatever it is that drove you crazy this week, call and complain. You will feel much better about it, I promise. So Donald Trump has been having dinner with Mitt Romney. He's been talking to world leaders. He's been creating problems for all of the very basic status quo antes of the government of the United States, and the mainstream media is melting down over it. But what about this? Former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice sat down with Vice President-elect Mike Pence Wednesday evening. Now, I don't know exactly why Condoleezza Rice would sit down with the director of the transition, Mike Pence. Keep in mind, Sean Spencer is one of the honchos of the RNC, very close to soon-to-be White House Chief of Staff Reince Priebus. Someone wanted this information injected into the media bloodstream. Mike Pence will meet with former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice in Washington, D.C. today. Maybe it was just a courtesy visit. Maybe Pence wanted to seek advice on the transition or foreign policy from a smart woman with deep experience. Maybe it was a temperature check to see if Rice has any appetite whatsoever to leave her comfortable perch out west and re-enter public service. I wonder. I think she's pretty burned out. But it would be nice to see Condoleezza Rice again. What could she do? I wonder. There is open carry news in Texas. Tom Manowitz has owned the Target Master Indoor Shooting Center in Garland since 1979. He supports open carry, which lawmakers approved in 2015, allowing people to carry handguns openly, just the same as long rifles. But Manowitz says he opposes a new bill that would make licensing to carry a handgun, the required education classes and fees, optional. I understand why people would like to have constitutional carry, but I would vote against it. Not everybody should be carrying a gun. Not everybody has the right to own a gun. If the police have some way of determining that you are licensed or not, I think that's an asset to the law enforcement community. I agree. Felons have no business carrying weapons. If all that happens is that you spend some time and it's a one-day deal, and I understand it, you're correct. It is an infringement. You're right. But if you want constitutional carry, you're going to have to come up with some understanding. Going to have to come up with some way to keep felons from carrying weapons. And if you don't have a way to get that done, then the law ought to stay the way the law ought to stay. Jonathan Stickland of Bedford, he is a Republican state representative, makes a good point. We don't think Texans should have to pay for the right to exercise their Second Amendment rights. It is not an expansion of who can carry under constitutional carry. Anyone who is eligible for a CHL now would be able to carry. No one new would be able to carry, but the police wouldn't be able to tell that, John. The police would have no idea. And oh, by the way, let's look at this police officer situation just a little bit closer, shall we? Here's what we've got. We've got a felon carrying a weapon. Carrying a weapon. He's not supposed to be carrying a weapon because he's a felon. The police officer comes and asks for his identification, please, and finds out that the guy carrying a weapon is a felon. What's the police officer's next move? The next move is to arrest the felon. That's the next move. But when you're arresting an armed felon, is that not a deadly force scenario? The answer is yes. It is a deadly force scenario. So you go from a guy walking around with a gun, theoretically celebrating his constitutional carry rights, into a deadly force situation in the blink of an eye. Interesting, huh? So we'll see. 866-660-5759. Millions of people across the U.S. are skipping the airport this holiday because what they're going to do is take road trips instead. The car insurance comparison study analyzed information published by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, and they found out that Texas and Louisiana are tied for having the nation's worst drivers. Texas has jumped up 3 spots from last year's review. The study looked at road fatalities, failure to obey road rules, drunk driving incidents, and more. State transportation officials have said at least one person has died on Texas roads every day for the past 16 years. Researchers suggest that drivers buckle up and pay better attention while on Texas roads. I have traveled all over this country. I have driven in almost every state of the country, every state of the union, except I have not driven in Alaska, although I've been there. I have not been to Hawaii yet. And I have yet to spend any time in South Dakota. But I will tell you that the worst drivers on the planet are drivers in Louisiana, especially those around New Orleans. There is no comparison. No comparison. The worst drivers in the world live in New Orleans, Louisiana. Oh my God. Just so you know. 866-660-5759. Let's see. Michael Plumlee and 3 of his friends were wrapping up putts on the 17th hole of the Indian Creek Golf Club in Carrollton the other day. Witnesses said another foursome, including a guy named Kevin Keogh Silave, broke golf etiquette by hitting their fairway shots at Plumlee and his friends. Apparently, these guys had been following this foursome around and decided that the foursome was holding up play. So Plumlee, not being happy that somebody was actually hitting into the green, threw the ball off the green. Then, when that happened, witnesses said Silave swung the iron at the back of Plumlee's head, hitting him repeatedly with the club. The attack continued even after Plumlee fell to the ground with serious injuries. He went to the hospital with a fractured skull. He's still in the hospital after the golf game turned violent. He was knocked unconscious, remains hospitalized. Carrollton police said Silave tried to leave the golf course before they arrived, but was blocked by golf carts. He was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. His family wants the other golfers who were there with Silave to also face charges, since Plumlee's prognosis is uncertain. We don't know how long-term, what it's going to be like. It concerns me that any of these violent people can be out there free. Police confiscated several clubs to determine which one was used as a weapon. Silve has previous criminal conviction for car burglary, but his violent round of golf could send him to prison for 20 years. By the way, the Indian Creek Golf Club also investigated because it appears as though Silve refused and still refuses to replace the divot in Michael Plumlee's head. Therefore, he will not get another tee time. 866-660-5759. Scott in Fort Worth, Texas. Welcome to the Friday Flameout. Hello.
JD, explain to me the logic, if you can. This guy who owns the gun shop, who wants people to still come pay him to teach them the basics of gun control.
Yes, sir.
His logic is that without him teaching the classes, that felons will be able to have guns, where it seems to me that felons are going to have guns whether he teaches them or not. So it sounds like circular logic that only benefits him. I don't get it. Maybe you can help me understand.
Well, I understand your point, and yeah, okay, you're right. And once again, this is a debate with good answers on both sides. Here is the situation that I see. It is illegal that felons would be able to carry a gun. Under constitutional carry law, that felons carrying a gun would be either done away with or left in place. Now, let's assume that it's left in place, because if it's done away with, then there's really no argument, although you now have felons carrying weapons. Let's not look at it necessarily from a standpoint of whether this is a constitutional issue or not. Let's look at it from a standpoint of a police officer trying to deal with a guy who's carrying a weapon. Okay? For whatever reason. He's standing there and he says, okay, here's what I need you to do. I need you to give me your ID because I want to check you out. The felon, who knows he's a felon and shouldn't be carrying a weapon, now has the complete advantage on the police officer. He's got a gun that is perfectly and totally, apparently, the gun is being carried legally. Everybody thinks it's being carried legally, except the felon who knows it's not being carried legally. Does that not put the felon into an advantage of the use of deadly force right off the bat? Because as soon as the police officer knows that it's a felon carrying a weapon, it is a deadly force situation.
But it's a situation where the felon could have a gun regardless of whether or not there's a license or not.
But we're not looking at that from a standpoint of, if a felon's got a gun, he's going to hide it. It's going to be concealed carry. And chances are pretty likely that nobody will know. But if he's carrying open, that puts a police officer in an impossible situation.
So let me say back to you what you said to me to make sure I understand the position. So
I tell you what, mull it over, because we got to take a break here, and we'll come back after the break's over. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
How will the future affect the money decisions you make now? Find out Saturday morning with Jerry Tuma and John Criswell on Smart Money. Smart Money will bring you the latest information regarding financial markets and what it means to you and your investment and retirement portfolio. Not knowing could be costly. Smart Money, a voice of experience and integrity, with Jerry Tuma and John Criswell. Saturday mornings at 8 on 660 AM. The Answer.
It is not easy to know if you're making the right decisions with your finances and savings. If your financial plan is even slightly out of tune, you may be paying too much for taxes or retiring without a sound income plan. Jamie Blumenthal at Retirement Strategies and Solutions can help. Listen to 660 AM The Answer Saturdays at 8 p.m. to retire the right way. Or call Jamie now at 800-287-1667. That's 800-287-1667.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my foundation company, Abacus Foundation Repair. The cooler temperatures of fall can bring weather changes that can bring changes to the soil around your house. And man, that can mean cracks in the sheetrock, doors that are sticking. If you even think you got a foundation problem, please call the right company first. And that's Abacus Foundation Repair, 972-406-9000. 972-406-9000. They will map your house with the skill of an engineer, looking for possible causes. Maybe it's a plumbing issue or something, so the problem doesn't recur. If you don't need a new foundation or any kind of new pilings, they'll tell you. But if you do, you've called the right people. $1,000 off from Abacus, $1,000 off any job of 10 pilings or more. Not just any pilings, Millennium Composite Pilings, the only company that has them for the strongest foundation solution. You will be taken care of. You will be happy. You did call the right company. 972-406-9000, 972-406-9000, or abacusfoundationrepair.com. Hey, everybody, it's Mark Davis for Good Feet, and the Christmas season is demanding extra walking, extra places to go. And are your feet hurting? That's not good. Let me get you out of pain today with a visit to America's arch support experts. The Good Feet stores, they're in Plano, Fort Worth, and Southlake. That's Plano, Fort Worth, and Southlake. Special note for Southlake, they're now open Sundays, noon to 5. No matter what location you visit for the Good Feet stores, Plano, Fort Worth, Southlake, 3 different locations, but the same goal, get you out of pain today. So many people's feet hurt at the end of the day. That ain't right. Some people's feet hurt at the beginning of the day. That's really not right. Get the right kind of arch support in there, and you'll be able to walk and work and live the way you wish. Hit that goodfeetdfw.com website to learn more. Goodfeetdfw.com. Click that Real Stories button and see stories of people out of pain and happy about it. Why not you? Good Feet stores, Plano, Fort Worth, and Southlake, now open noon to 5 on Sunday. Plano, Fort Worth, and Southlake, the locations of the Good Feet stores. Goodfeetdfw.com.
Merry Christmas, folks. Crazy Gun Dealer here, and I love Christmas time. So I'm going to give you 2 below-cost gun specials just for Christmas. I have AR-15s for $3.99 and Taurus 9mm slims for just $1.99. Both of these are way below dealer cost. I just ask you to buy ammo and holsters. And as always, every gun still comes with free CHO classes, free lifetime warranty, free range membership, and free test firing. Plus, if we don't already have the best gun price you've found anywhere, we'll beat any price gun to gun, or we'll just give you the gun for free, because nobody wants your gun business more than a Crazy Gun Dealer in Alvarado. Check us out at crazygundealer.com. Follow our crazy deals by texting crazy to 24587, or give us a call at 855-329-4867. That's 855-329-GUNS. And remember, if you need to sell or get a loan on any guns this Christmas season, we always pay, loan, and trade more for your used guns.
All offers and promotions subject to change or restrictions. See store for complete details.
Mr. Ray Huffines.
Listen to what this customer has to say about family-owned and family-run Huffines.
Huffines is so different than any dealership that I've ever been to. They treat me like family and make me feel comfortable.
And now, during Huffines' holiday sales event, save the big bucks on every new Huffines car, truck, SUV, and worry-free certified pre-owned vehicle. All while choosing from Huffines' Texas size selection. And when you come to family-owned and family-run Huffines, you'll see how doing business with Texas values for over 90 years makes a big difference. Perhaps that's why Huffines is the Consumer's Choice Award winner for Auto Dealership Group of the Year for the 9th consecutive year. So come save the big bucks during Huffines' holiday sales event at the 9 area Huffines dealerships in Plano, Corinth, Louisville, and McKinney, or online at huffines.net.
Huffines has it. Huffines.
Saying I don't know is no longer acceptable. This is 660 AM, The Answer. The Wells Report, a daily good old-fashioned North Texas barbecue of anybody trying to take advantage of us on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. I guess you didn't want to stick around. There you go. Let's see. The end has come for a popular Grand Rapids restaurant known as much for its creative vegan dishes as the progressive business model for much of its 5-year existence. The eatery went by the moniker Bartertown Diner until it was rebranded in September to the Garden Diner and Cafe. The offbeat 30-seat eatery announced this month that the last day would be Wednesday, November 30th. After a strong summer, the restaurant will, with about a dozen employees, had struggled in recent months, according to Tad Cummings. He took it over in March with Crystal LaCoy, who left 2 months later. I was an original investor. I wanted to push it to see if the model could be done. In other words, it was a socialist, no tipping, working-run restaurant with no boss, no bosses. It looks like a nice little place. Maybe you should take it over and become an owner and hire employees and actually do it the way you're supposed to do it and make a lot of money. That could be. I'm just saying. The executive producer of the Wells Report is Vicki Steifer. Technical director, conductor of the Wells Report Orchestra is Magic Matt Swinney. My name is Jon-David Wells. God bless you and yours. And we'll see you Monday for another edition of the Wells Report.
Just look at them, having a great time. To think 6 weeks ago, I was just installed. All it took was one last spilled drink on their old dingy carpet, and they had enough of him. Thank goodness. They got the professionals at Adair's Fine Floors in here, and just look at me. I'm gorgeous. I'm not just your average wood floor. I take crazy traffic like a pro, and it's all because my homeowners called Adair's Fine Floors. Susan and Richard Adair came in, talked to the family, figured out what their needs were, and helped them find the perfect floor to fit their lifestyle. Adair's Fine Floors has a large selection with free sample checkouts, and they chose me. That's not all. Just look around. The coordinating accessories suggested by Adair's Floors. That rug over there? Yep, Adair's Floors. They offer free design and decorating assistance too, giving the home just the right look. Visit AdairsFineFloorsETC.com to get your home started on the right look for you. That's AdairsFineFloorsETC.com.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my air conditioning and heating company, Walker AC. Happy fall football season and dig this big game promotion from Train and Walker AC. Now through December 15th, buy a qualifying system from Train, scratch off a trade-in allowance of up to $2,000, or take special financing for 48 months. You can always count on complete satisfaction from a Train dealer, so call mine, Walker AC and Heating, 972-4-WALKER, 972-4-WALKER, or WalkerAC.com. Complete program eligibility, dates, details, restrictions, subject to credit approval. The company to trust for all your AC and heating needs. They're not going to sell you a system they don't need. They'll fix stuff, fair price, best prices. Love these folks. New systems from Train, the best repairs, 972-4-WALKER, 972-4, and Walker. They're my AC and heating company all year long. Walker Air Conditioning and Heating and Train, because it's hard to stop a train. 972-4-WALKER, 972-4-WALKER, or WalkerAC.com.
Mattress shopping lately? Then you know the stores around here are pretty much all the same, with the same mix of brands and models, not to mention all the confusing pricing. Eric Nadel for Savin European Sleep Systems. There's one mattress that's very different. It's the Savin Organic Mattress, designed for deeper, more restful sleep. I should know. I've slept on a Savin mattress for almost a decade. Why buy a Savin? Why would you ever consider anything else? It's simply a better mattress. Savin European Sleep Systems. In Dallas and Southlake, learn more at savin.com.
This is 660 AM, The Answer, a service of Salem Media Group, on the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth, 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Rich Dennison. The sheriff of Jefferson Parish, Louisiana, is defending his handling of the shooting death of an ex-NFL player in a New Orleans suburb. Joe McKnight, who played for the Jets and the Chiefs, died in what Sheriff Newell Norman said was a road rage incident.
Everybody wants to make this about race. This isn't about race.
Authorities identified 54-year-old Ronald Gasser as the shooter and released him, sparking criticism. New Orleans police arrest a second suspect in last weekend's French Quarter shooting that left one person dead and 9 others injured.
Detectives obtained a arrest warrant, for Jordan Clay for second-degree murder.
Police Chief Michael Harrison. Jurors in the Michael Slager murder trial are home for the weekend, apparently deadlocked. Slager is the white former South Carolina patrolman charged in the shooting death of Walter Scott following a traffic stop last year. Fox News. We report, you decide.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. We all know life can get crazy, and you're not always near a radio. But one thing is for sure, your phone goes everywhere with you. And now we can too. Download the 660 AM The Answer app to your phone and listen live wherever you go. If you miss any of the Mark Davis Show or the Wells Report, you can catch up whenever, wherever. Plus, dial the 660 AM The Answer studio directly from the app. And it's free. We make it easy to stay connected. Download our app now. 660 AM The Answer.
Do you have low back or neck pain? Does it run down your arms or your legs? Do you have a bulging or herniated disc degeneration, or spinal arthritis? Even worse, have you been told you need back surgery or injections? If you answered yes, then please listen to what I have to say. My name is Dr. Chad Vines, DC, at Genesis Back and Neck, and I use the most advanced spinal decompression system available, the DRX 9000, to correct back problems just like yours. We don't use addictive drugs, and we don't use any type of dangerous invasive surgery for these problems. Spinal decompression is safe, FDA cleared, and it's not painful, and has about an 86% success rate. We accept most insurances, and your first visit will be at no charge. You will sit down and visit with me personally until I've answered all of your questions. And if you're a candidate for decompression, you can try out the treatment all at no charge to you. So if you're ready to not hurt anymore and don't want to have surgery, call me at 817-328-1922. That's 817-328-1922, or online at mylowback.com.
Good morning, Jane. Wow, you're glowing. You must have had a good night.
I had a great night. I slept with Somnipure.
Oh, is that the French guy in sales?
No, Somnipure is a non-prescription sleep aid. Remember how I couldn't sleep? I'd lay
this message.
To succeed, we must enlist the effort of all Americans. For too long, Washington has tried to put us in boxes. They separate us by race, by age, by income, by geography, by place of birth. We spend too much time focusing on what divides us. Now is the time to embrace the one thing that truly unites us. You know what that is? America, America. It's America. Because when America is unified, nothing is beyond our reach. I mean that. You're going to see. You're going to see. We're going to have a country that was never so great. You watch, in so many different ways.
Okay, obviously, to say you're going to have a country that was never so great. America's always been great. I mean, wasn't it, we're going to make America great again? He then continued about the dangers of globalism.
You hear a lot of talk about how we're becoming a globalized world, but the relationships people value in this country are local. Family, city, state, country, they're local. We'll compete in the world. We want to compete in the world, but we're going to compete in the world where it's a two-way road, not a one-way road. The advantages are going to come back to our country, and they haven't for many, many years. There is no global anthem, no global currency, no certificate of global citizenship. We pledge allegiance to one flag, and that flag is the American flag.
Okay, that's obviously a solid message. I don't think that Governor Kasich or anybody else could disagree with that. You may remember, I mean, I remember, it's because it's me, but it was 8 years ago when President Obama gave his campaign speech in Berlin. And yeah, only Barack Obama would do a major campaign rally in front of the Brandenburg Gate in Berlin. And he had a major rock group playing for him, German rock group, and 100,000 people who came out. And he began, my fellow citizens of the world. And I said, look, he's not running to be president of the world. He's running to be president of the United States. I don't care about him being a citizen of the world. I don't want him to be a citizen of the world. I want him to be a president of the U.S. And this entire idea that, oh, we are all one world community right now, I agree with Mr. Trump. And of course, he should put America first. That's what he's being hired for. That's why he was voted into office. But that doesn't necessarily mean, especially when he used that fine rhetoric about bringing America together and the power of unity, that it's so helpful for him to once again attack the media.
And the people back there, the extremely dishonest press, said, very dishonest people. I love this stuff. Should I go on with this just a little bit longer? Remember, you cannot get to 270, the dishonest press. There is no road. Folks, how many times did we hear this? There is no path to 270. There is no.
Okay, should he really keep up the war with the press? Is that helpful? Do you remember he sat down and met with the New York Times and had a completely different tone? And that's also on tape. It was public. He said he called the New York Times a jewel, and said he reads it every day and it's a great newspaper. And again, this would be a more useful tone than pointing to the people who were there and giving him all this coverage. By the way, up at Harvard, they had a conversation with some of the leaders at the Kennedy School, some of the leaders of CNN, and they were attacked by leaders from the Cruz campaign, from the Rubio campaign, and other Republicans for being so pro-Trump before the convention, before the nomination. So again, fair to attack the press? Sure, it's fair. I mean, the press is part of the public dialogue, but is it helpful?